We've been loving life here for the last 8 years, and it has changed quite significantly since we were first here. Actually, we were first here about 9 years ago when we bought the land, and so I'd like to take a little bit of a tour around and show you some of the before and after of our life in our garden at Suan Sook Homestay. This was our first experience of the property. Back then, it was a longan orchard. Now it's got a multitude of different plants. The road's been sealed and we have grown extensively with the property ourselves, not just the trees, not just the development, but personally we've grown a lot as well. And it's been a wonderful journey. The only building on the property back then was a little sala, a little place for rest. That has changed a lot. At the entrance here, we wanted to make it really welcoming, so when people arrive, it's like they're coming into an oasis, a lovely, cool, sweet-smelling space that they can feel relaxed. And something that I can't share on the video is how Pansara has designed the fragrances as you walk through our garden. They're just delightful, they're wonderful and so refreshing. And then down at the front of the house was something that I'd had an idea as I was designing the property, as I was designing the house in the 3D rendering program. I wanted to plant these plants. Let me show you them. I'd seen these dragon plants around in other places, and I actually had some back at the townhouse I was staying in, but they were tiny. I'd envisaged having these planted along this wall. I just love the texture of them and the shadows that they make in the morning when the sun's hitting them are just lovely. So it's a dream come true to have this looking the way it is. And here's our kitchen entrance, which has always been a bit of an untidy entrance, but recently I have built these counters for my wife who wants to do some outside cooking and just to keep the place a little bit tidier, and it's worked really nicely for both of those purposes. And the other part that's changed dramatically is our bamboo. This was one of the first things that we planted. It's still my favourite in the garden. This time of the year it's looking really dry, but this has been such a central part of our development of Suan Sook Homestay Gardens. This is approximately the same location where I made the video of the construction. And here the view has changed dramatically because back then there was no trees growing at all. We'd cleared the longan trees closest to the house. We'd left some at the back down by the pond, but up here we really wanted to see the view. As we lived in the house, we realised that the view was fantastic, but the heat was quite intense, particularly in the hot season, and we wanted some shade. So we've diversified, we changed, we adapted, and we've grown the trees and then created windows through the trees to enjoy the view from the shade of the trees, and it's worked really well. And down here at the back of the section was a tricky area. It provided us with some really good challenges because this area here was low, but it had been filled in from the pond. When they dug the pond, they put all the soil here or the dirt here, and it was always kind of boggy. As the water came down, it kind of just sat here. Initially we were planting vegetables down here and it just wasn't working, and so we tried a number of things. We found that mango trees are quite happy, and if we've got lots of mangoes, we're quite happy too. We love it. I've now started to transform and experiment even more, producing some guilds that we're planting around the trees that include comfrey and lemongrass and other vegetables and eggplant, things like that, that will grow up in the environment of a syntropic food forest or a syntropic garden. We really like the idea of this to really nurture a real diversity of food producing plants in our garden in kind of a semi-natural way, because it's being helped along by the gardeners. It's not totally natural, but letting the plants grow together and develop together and produce food together, then we're all happy. But most of our vegetable garden's up on a different level, and we're very happy with the results that we're seeing now. And here is where we have placed our vegetable garden. We've done a lot of hard work on this piece of land so that the soil has been rejuvenated. There's lots of biomass being added to it, lots of cow manure being added to it, and it is really producing some great vegetables. Part of the thing here is that we've got some nice shade trees, and even in the hot season we're producing some salad vegetables, some beans, some corn and some other things. And because of this and because of the success I've had with building a little shade hoop, I am about to rework this area and create some more artificial shade down here using our excess bamboo. And so you can see how our garden has really transformed over time with some hard work and with some patience. We could have planted a whole lot of mature trees as soon as we moved here, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to grow our garden ourselves so that we could grow with our garden and really be a part of the experience of growing together, and it's been absolutely wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed this short video about the massive transformation that's happened in our garden and in our lives, and if you'd like to see some more, I'm sure you'll enjoy watching this video next. And thanks very much for watching this one all the way through.